The Loch Ness Monster. The Loch Ness Monster, commonly called Nessie, is the name of a legendary animal said to inhabit Loch Ness, near the city of Inverness, Scotland. There are two who define themselves as firm defenders of its existence, and those who insist on finding explanations for the multiple sightings that have taken place over the centuries, such as, for example, that what people count to be Nessie are actually lungs, birds, fish, and even whales. The peak period for Nessie sightings was the 1913s, although there are several much older documents that seem to allude to this legendary creature. Based on them, the first sighting of the Loch Ness Monster can be placed in 6th century, at the time of Saint Columba. According to the life of Saint Columba, when the saint was walking along the loch, he saw a man being buried who died after being bitten by a monster in the loch. In history, Nessie has been given many forms, the most typical being the classic image for the plesiosaur, although for the moment there is no conclusive evidence of Nessie's existence. It's not ruled out that some sea creature might have existed in its deep waters. In fact, there are several hypotheses about the kind of animal we can find in the deep waters of Loch Ness.
Tales of leviathans lurking beneath the water's surface are as ancient as any, yet none is more well known than Scotland's mysterious Loch Ness Monster. Is there any proof of its existence, or is it nothing more than a soaking wet story? Let's find out in today's episode of
Colossal Mysteries.
The Loch Ness Monster, nicknamed Nessie, is a mysterious aquatic beast that is said to live in a loch in Scotland, the Irish and Gaelic word for lake. Loch Ness is located in the Highlands of Scotland and is well known for being quite muddy and murky. Could an age-old monster be lurking just beneath the hazy depths? That depends on who you ask. Archaeologists have uncovered ancient carvings at the site that date back more than 1,000 years. Experts can ID each and every animal carved into the stone except for one, a large underwater beast that looks quite a bit like the Loch Ness Monster. Some look to the stone as proof that the monster is still swimming around Loch Ness today. The modern-day mystery of the Loch Ness Monster dates back to July 22, 1933, when a local Scottish newspaper claimed that a couple saw an enormous aquatic animal lurking on the lake's surface. It looked something like a dragon or prehistoric monster. Most descriptions say Nessie looks a bit like a large dragon with flippers and a long neck, almost as if it's the last of an extinct line of dinosaurs. And ever since, people have been itching for an answer to this watery puzzle. There have been thousands of reported sightings over the years, and even a particularly famous photo that claimed to be of Nessie. The picture was snapped in 1934 by an English physician and printed in British newspapers. The image, known as the surgeon's photograph, sparked an international sensation. But in 1994, it was finally revealed that the surgeon's photograph was in fact a hoax. The monster in the photo was simply a plastic, wooden, and papier-mâché head and neck attached to a toy submarine to keep it afloat. There have been 2 separate attempts to find Nessie using state-of-the-art sonar equipment. The first was in 1987, and then again in 2003. They used the tech to explore the depths of the murky water where it's hard to see, but they never found a thing. But if the Loch Ness Monster is merely a myth, what explains all the years of eyewitness sightings? Experts have a few solid theories. It could be floating objects like buoys and tree trunks, animals like ducks, otters, and eels, or optical illusions caused by wind and waves. So it seems likely that Loch Ness was a figment of our imagination the whole time, doesn't it? Well, maybe not, because researchers in 2019 say they have been conducting DNA tests on the lake, and the results were shocking. According to their findings, there may be evidence that a monster may have existed in Loch Ness. So, is the Loch Ness monster real? It's safe to say we don't know for sure, and even safer to assume